So you clicked on this video. Then you're probably similar to me. You're probably having a hard time trying to talk to camera. I've watched tons and tons of videos on YouTube on how to talk to camera. I've watched, hacks and little tips and tricks, and some of it worked, some of it helped. I've done that 30-day challenge where you talk to camera. I thought that was pretty good. It was just kind of the same thing over and over again. It didn't really challenge me. By day 20, I was like, let me just do this just to get over with. So it didn't really challenge me. There was no excitement there. I've done the that thing where you call your friend and you press record so that you can see how you look naturally when you're talking to a friend on the phone. I've done that. That was a little weird. It didn't really help that much because even though I was talking to my friend, I still felt conscious of the camera. You know what I mean? So I wasn't able to be myself. And so I've done a lot of different things, but there's this one thing that I did recently that I kind of thought of, and it helped me tremendously, and I want to share that with you guys today. Whenever I'm stressed, I always go for these long drives. I turn on the music, my favorite type of music. I turn it on, and I go for long rides. It's just a ride to nowhere. I just cruise. And whenever I'm cruising by myself, I generally have conversations in my mind about things. I don't know. I just think about just whatever is going on, And I have conversations to myself. And one day I thought to myself, wait a minute. If I'm having conversations in my mind, and it sounds pretty good, why can't I just speak out loud and see how that goes? There's no one around to judge me. There's no one sitting next to me. No one's going to think about me. And I'm just by myself. I can say the dumbest things. I can say the corniest jokes and no one's going to judge me, And I think a lot of times that's what we're afraid of. We're afraid of judgment. And that's what the camera is. When you're recording a video, you're afraid of all these people that's going to watch it. It's going to judge you. And that's why we're so nervous whenever the camera's on. But in a car by yourself, there's no one there. So I started to talk out loud, and these conversations that I would have would be just so natural. It'll be the true Dave that comes out in these conversations. There's no one there. I can just say whatever I want to say, however I want to say it. And the true Dave would be able to come out, and I was like, man, if these things were videos, these things would be great. So with these videos, I started with these conversations. I started to talk to myself every single time I got into the car, whether it was driving to work, coming back from work, just anywhere I was going. When I was driving myself, I would talk out loud. And these were just part of the reps that I was putting in. These are just part of the clocking in that I was putting in. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get good at something, you have to do repetitions of that thing over and over again to get good at it. And this is something that I really want to get good at. I want to really, really be able to talk to the camera really well and be myself. So I would do that every single time I got in. And I think something switched over where I started to feel comfortable talking to the camera. Now whenever I talk to the camera, I almost don't even realize the camera's on. It's just whatever. I'm not even trying to impress anybody. I'm just being me. And I don't think that real Dave would have been able to come out if I didn't have these loud, audible conversations with myself, And so you're asking me, so what's the difference in talking to your brain and talking out loud? What's the difference? You're doing the same exact thing. Well, the difference is whenever you talk out loud, you're able to hear your voice. You're able to hear the things that's coming out of your mind. You're able to hear the hiccups that you may have. Maybe some of the pauses you have. You're able to hear all that. And so when you're able to hear these things, you're able to critique them as well. So back to prior when I didn't do these things, whenever I turn on the camera, and with the camera, this is red outline that's on the screen, so it lets me know I'm recording. The weird thing is, whenever I'm not recording, I can speak. The minute I see the red outline on the camera, I get nervous for some reason. So you're able to critique these things out loud. And you're able to hear the things that you may do wrong, and you're able to kind of correct yourself, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't able to correct these things if you didn't hear out loud. So it's important for you to have a conversation out loud. It's very important for you to talk out loud. So that's the distinguishing factor between speaking to yourself in your mind and speaking out loud. So it's very important that you speak out loud. And again, there's no better place than in a car when you're by yourself and you're away from judgments. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what the fear comes from. It's your fear is really fear from judgment. You don't want people to think of you a certain way. So, whenever you press record, you want to put your best foot forward. And a lot of times I think in these types of videos or any videos, people want to see the true you. And it's harder to release, to show the true you, because you're nervous. So these videos, these conversations out loud allow the true you to come out. And eventually, with these reps and with these repetitions, you allow the true you to come out. You're more comfortable, you know? And that's what has been happening to me. I've seen a tremendous change in these videos between the time I didn't do the speaking out loud to myself and between the time when I started to. I've seen a big change. I think a lot of the real Dave, my personality, is starting to come out. And I'm pretty happy with the results. And I wanted to share with people out here that were having the same problems as me. I wanted to share that because it's a nice little hack that anyone can do anywhere. You know, for me, I chose to do it in the car because that's my alone time. For a lot of people, other people, they can do it in the house by themselves, or maybe your room by yourselves. Just wherever you feel comfortable speaking out loud. I think you should do it. And again, you can do it for 5-10 minutes a day. It doesn't make a difference when you do it. There's no guidelines. You don't have to do it every single day. It's just, I want to take this thing serious, so I do it every single day. And that's the discipline I put upon myself so that I can succeed. But yeah, so I want to share with you. I hope you implement it in your schedule, in your time. And I hope it helps you. And I hope together we can kind of get better together, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to say thank you for watching. And I'm going to be making more of these videos just because I feel much more comfortable in front of the camera now. And let's get better together. All right. Thanks for watching.